MAKAVELI in this Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. Feel me?
Dominating long enough now. Stop being greedy. Let's keep it real, partner. Give to the need. Ribs is touching, so don't make me wait. Out on the head, roll out. Let's make it happen. If we ain't gonna get it with them, we'll take it cap. Crossing off.
I'm lost in my mind. I'm about to make you lose your tooth from far away one time.
You got this one that we got. What they really want from me. The game is being played, now they're doing that. It's on till it's gone, then I got to know that. If you with me, you were. Drop, shut 'em down, open up shop. Oh, no. Bring it, what?
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, you know what it is? It's your homie DMX. Right there. Show some love to my nigga Gab, MAKAVELI Media. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? This is Dark Man X. Shout out to the homie Gab, MAKAVELI Media. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. DMX. This goes out to all my DMX fans out there. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. The Dark Man X, my brother Marshall gonna love this. He a DMX fanatic. A lot of y'all love DMX. I read the comment section. People are like, yo, Gab, what would happen if DMX battled each other? Tupac and DMX battled, or DMX versus Tupac? I ain't gonna do that. Because first of all, they wasn't even sharing the same spotlight or the same, stage at the same time. So we don't know how that would have went. But I do see a lot of similarities between the two, and I got respect for both artists, as you can tell. And I would just like to point out a few things. One being that DMX story is one of folklore. I mean, it's legendary. From the start to how it even ended up. His career is nothing short of remarkable, because it's the ultimate Cinderella story. Rags to riches. From being a homeless kid to being an abused kid to being raised in foster care and shipped off to different family members in different cities, and, being abused by your mom and her boyfriends knocking your teeth out your mouth, and living in abandoned buildings with a dog, and going from that to the top of the Billboard charts and being lead actors in the movie. And it's just the ultimate success story, that of the American dream, you know what I mean? And I want to shed some light on that today, and so show some love to the homie DMX, but also to ask you, where does DMX legacy rank amongst the hip-hop elite? Let's just take a look at, like I said, how it even got started. Now, Puffy said in an interview a few years ago that D, from the Rough Riders camp, at this time, Rough Riders was a management/production company. They wasn't a record label at this point. So they were trying to get their artists signed to record labels at this point. So they took all of their acts over to Bad Boy, trying to get a record deal, and they let Puffy get the pick of the litter. Now, I'm not sure if Mace was involved in this in any way, but I do know for a fact that the three artists Puffy wound up picking was Sheek Louch, Jadakiss, and Styles P, the Locks. And he said, D was like, I got another artist you got to look at. I'm telling you, DMX is sick. And And Puffy was like, he was looking at X. And he said, X looked like a goddamn chain snatcher, a purse snatcher. That's what he said. He said he's sitting there, but he needed a shave, and he had a receding hairline. He was only like 23, he had a receding hairline. And Puffy just was like, I can't work with him. I can't. Too rough for me. Puffy had plans on putting shiny suits on the Locks, have him rapping over disco beats, you know what I mean? He wasn't feeling DMX's look. Which is crazy because it's the same guy that signed Craig Mack and Biggie, but he wasn't feeling DMX. So he said, D was like, all right, cool. I just take him to Def Jam, see if they be interested. And Puffy said he scoffed at the idea. He laughed like, Russell ain't gonna sign him. I can tell him that right now. Man, it wasn't even 2 months later. Puffy said that's all he was hearing. DMX everywhere. DMX in the streets. People coming up, yo, DMX, DMX, DMX. DMX took over New York City. Puffy said first thing he did was jump on the phone. D, I need DMX. Please tell me it ain't too late. He said, yeah, it's too late, man. Not only did Def Jam sign him, but they was getting their own label situation off of the back of DMX. Puffy said that's the one artist that he know he fucked up on. He said it make him sick to his stomach just thinking about the success DMX had, without him. But it's funny, I think everything worked out how it was supposed to work out because I really couldn't see DMX sign the Bad Boy. Did y'all see that? Knowing the course that hip-hop went, could you actually picture DMX with Puffy in the background dancing with the shiny suits on? I don't know. I don't think, maybe they could have did it. I don't know. I don't see it. I think things worked out how they were supposed to work out in the end. Back to DMX and Tupac. Huge similarities. I mean, even the upbringing. Tupac had a hard upbringing too, but it's funny how they both were born in New York, and from New York, they both went to Baltimore. A lot of people don't know DMX lived here for a long time. Matter of fact, he shouted us out on Get At Me, Dog, when he say, Baltimore is the shit. And there's 1,000 of them mobbing the streets, robbing to eat.
Baltimore shit. You know what I mean? I'm just robbing to eat. And there's at least 1,000 of us like me mobbing the street. When we starve and we eat.
Yeah, he rep like that. Matter of fact, he had got to some kind of beef with some New York cats. And, they basically was trying to run him out of New York or whatever. He come back here, got all his Baltimore homies and did the video. Bring it, what? We right here. We're not going anywhere.
We right here. This is ours and we don't share. We right here.
You remember that? Man, he had 3,000 people out in that video. They shut down West Baltimore. Brought the Rough Riders motorcycle gang out, and he was rapping, man, telling them bring it. Matter of fact, he was trying to start Bloodline Records. And the management and all that stuff was down here. Matter of fact, shout outs to my man Nico over at Bloodline. We was pretty tight. And DMX had big plans, but like I said, DMX personal demons was so big at the time, man. I mean, it was hard for him to overcome that without the proper, counseling or proper help. See, a lot of times we self-medicate. We grab a beer or a cigarette or a blunt, or some people do more than that and try to take the pain away. But sometimes it's so deep, you need something stronger than that. You need some kind of spiritual healing, some kind of a magical elixir that can help you, You need something bigger than just you sometimes. And I don't think DMX never got that. But DMX was a talented actor, just like Tupac. I mean, we know Tupac went to the School of the Arts here. I don't know what kind of formal training DMX had, but DMX just seemed like a natural actor. I mean, even in the movie Belly, he rocked that part. All the parts he had, he did a pretty good job at. Matter of fact, he was so good at it, the Warner Brothers gave him a 5-picture deal for $45 million, and they begged him to stop rapping. They like, yo, you don't even need to rap no more. We'll pay you for your time in advance. But those personal demons giving some money like that to a guy that got problems, man, it ain't go well. Didn't go well at all. But through it all, man, DMX made some classic music. I mean, from the albums. He had about 3 or 4 bomb albums, hit after hit after hit. I mean, what more can I say? The only problem I had with DMX was one that was out of his control. To me, and I know it was just awkward timing, but we had just lost Tupac, man, and I was still mourning as a fan. And, you know, we had just lost Biggie, and then, you know, it was like the industry had replaced them with 2 new guys. Another bald-headed, tattoo-having, bandana-wearing guy, and you got another braggadocious, flashy Brooklyn rapper that come out of nowhere. Well, he didn't come out of nowhere, but it was just like they stepped into their shoes. Like 9'7", 9'8", DMX emerges, and then Jay-Z emerged around the same time. And I'm like, so this the new Tupac and Biggie. And nobody said that. That's just how I was feeling, you know. I was just feeling like there's no substitute for those guys. And they wasn't trying to be substitutes. You know, DMX is his own artist. He's his own man. He's very unique. And the same thing could be said about Jay-Z. It's just, like I said, I was being stubborn. I didn't want to move on. I still refuse to listen to a lot of new artists. I keep the same CDs I had back then, and I listen to them. Every now and then something new will come out, and I nod my head to it. If I like it, I'll buy it. But, you know, I keep my same Pac CDs, keep my same Nas CDs, my same Wu-Tang CDs, yo. And that's just how it's going to be. I have every CD DMX ever put out, and I have a lot of respect for DMX. I'm just telling you, at that point in time, that's how I was feeling, like, you know, man. But my question to y'all is, where does DMX rank amongst the hip-hop greats? DMX had a good 4 or 5 year run where he was top of the charts, the most powerful, the biggest name in hip-hop at one time. But where does he rank for y'all, you know, amongst the all-time greats? And one thing's for sure, man, DMX was highly respected by his peers. I mean, at one point in time, all the rappers that came out the same time he did agreed that DMX was the nicest. Facts. I had a story one time. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story. I talked to Nokio from Drew Hill, right? And he was telling me he know for a fact that DMX was the reason that Def Jam stopped dealing with the Onyx. And I was like, what you mean? He said, yo, straight up, I heard, because he was at Def Jam too. Drew Hill was signed to Def Jam. He told me, he said, Gab, they said they ain't need Onyx no more because DMX was all 3 of them niggas in one person. I said, what? He said, yeah, yo, he made Onyx expendable. That's crazy. And oh yeah, to you movie directors out there, look, we want a DMX story. I think this would be a great biopic or a great miniseries. I would love to see, you know, the DMX story on a big screen. Yeah, we gotta stop waiting till something god-awful bad happened to our legends for us to, you know, tell their stories or shed the proper light on them, man. I think a DMX story would be intriguing. It's the ultimate rags to riches story, and somebody jump on that. Shit, I remember the people that wrote The Wire said they wrote the show with DMX in mind. But DMX was in so much legal problems and his contract with Warner Brothers, they had to, you know, move on from him, but they wrote that with him in mind. The Wire, the Baltimore show. It's funny because a lot of people, that's how they know about Baltimore City, from that damn TV show. I go down to Florida, they be like, where you from? I tell them, oh, I watched The Wire. I used to go to New York. Where you from? They knew where I was from when they heard me talk. First thing they say is The Wire. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, it wasn't too much I could say, but I think I covered everything. And oh yeah, for y'all that's counting DMX out, let me say something. DMX is younger than Jay-Z. Younger than Jay-Z right now. If Jay can still rap, so can X. I just seen X at Kanye's court. Kanye's church. And he did a little bit of preaching there because DMX is like a damn pastor. Did a little bit of preaching, and he also spit some bars, man, and the Duck man still got it. Don't sleep. If he truly got himself together, hopefully the legacy will continue. Anyway, I done took up enough of y'all time. This the homie Gab. I'm signing off. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.